From the UK to the USA.
Shout out to the whole Mayhem squad, man, all the way from North Carolina.
It's the Friday Mayhem Clubhouse Show with Anthony B and Mr. Carlos.
What a voice! What a voice! You know, every time I listen to that, I go goose pimply all over. I'm not gonna lie. He's got a voice and a half. Yeah, shall we bring him in?
Yes,
bring him in.
We're
ready for Brent. Hey!
Yeah. I appreciate it.
No, man, we're just blessed to have you on the show, my friend. How are you, Brent?
I'm good. And I got my my green screen working, so it looks like I'm in Times Square.
Yeah. Why, Brent? Why didn't you just say you just in Times Square? We would have believed you.
The reason I did that is that's like literally 1 block away from my high school. So
okay.
Wow.
So Brent, how you been? You good?
Yeah. Very good. You know, back to work. You know, as long as I'm making music and the family's healthy, my mom is good, I'm good. You know, I'm
okay. Yeah, you look well, and you got a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And I know the reason why, because you're on our show. That's
absolutely
the reason why. You don't need to lie, my friend.
On my face, listening to that song you just sang.
Thank you. You know what's funny about that? We did that during the pandemic, and those are just those are musicians from New York that I know. But my buddy who was singing next to me, his name is Michelangelo, one of my best friends. He called them. We went up to the World Trade Center, no rehearsal, no nothing. Called out songs. Did it just like that. That's why I'm looking at them and they're looking at me, and they're just great musicians. And we never went over anything. We just started calling songs and did the whole thing like that.
So how did that come around? Did you just say, right, just play this one, and then they just played it? And
what song
you just sung?
There? It's like, what songs do you know? Do you know this? You know, a couple of guys I've known for years. They said, you know, and these guys in New York, they seem to know every daggone song. So we did a couple of AWB songs, Marvin Gaye, Tower Power, whatever, just calling them out and calling the key, and everybody just followed each other.
Okay. But it seemed like you guys rehearsed for months to do that. And
rehearsal. In fact, I didn't even know the keyboard player's name. I didn't know his name at the time. But yeah, just no rehearsal, no nothing. Just and Michelangelo was like, he said, I'm gonna get the big dogs. Don't worry about it. I said, but what about rehearsal? He said, don't worry about it. We're just gonna call songs out and do it. And that's what we did.
Yeah. Okay.
That just means you're great. That's where greatness comes in. You know?
Listen, when you can just rock up and just sing, you know, it just shows the levels of you know, your ability and
levels of your craft.
Yeah, man. You're very good. Yeah. So how did you start in your fantastic, brilliant superstar career?
I'm still trying to get that thing started, but I started in I knew I started in kind of show business really, really young. I was my mother did some acting, so I wound up as a kid modeling. I did a lot of things for Ebony magazine. Then auditioned for. We did TV commercials. I started off in a Broadway musical. My first Broadway musical. I was 11 years old, and Shenandoah did that. Then I went to performing arts, but I went to school for theater. I always wanted to be an actor, and that's pretty much what I pursued. But when I got out of college, a buddy of mine from high school actually asked me to do a song with him. I did that, met some other people, and then you just start working here and there and moving on from there. Got some gigs as a background singer, and then moved on from there.
Okay. All right. Well, it seems like you're very, you're very humble with your talent and your skills, because you got skills.
Well,
I can.
Yes, when you're around the kind of people that I'm around that are really, really, really good, it kind of keeps you humble. It really does. Because there are a lot of people who are making big records and that are good, and there are people who are delivering for Amazon or for the post office that are great singers. And in church, you go in any church and find great singers. So there's so much more to making it as a living than just being a good singer too. Cinnamon attests to that.
Talking about singing, how did you become the main singer of the Average White Band? Because I'll tell you something, when I was being in the UK, the Average White Band, I just thought it was just a bunch of white guys. I'm not gonna lie.
It's funny,
and then I go on YouTube, and then there's a black man.
That too, okay, I'm guilty too.
Yeah, I thought it was a white band at first too, and I was a huge fan. My brother had the records, but I guess in the '90s, I was in Tower Power, and I was in Tower Power for a number of years, and we used to tour with Average White Band all the time. And since I grew up in New York, a huge fan of theirs, I used to hang out with them. And when we would go on tour, I would actually sometimes stay on their tour bus and hang out with them because they were funny, and there's only 5 of them, and there's 14 people in the Tower Power tour bus. So I would hang out with them. And I left Tower Power in 2000, and I think it was 2011. I had a band with Fred Bigdor, the sax player from AWB, and a keyboard player named Mo Pleasure, who's actually was in Michael Jackson's band, and this is it. We had a band together, and but Fred said we need a keyboard player and a vocalist for AWB for 3 months. So will you fill in for 3 months? And that was in November of 2011, and they just haven't replaced me yet. So I've been doing it for about 2 years.
Oh, listen. You're doing a fabulous job, Brent. So that's why I presume they continue doing what they're doing. But how did you meet Cinnamon? How did this come?
Why?
She has a reputation for she's like a mover and a shaker in Atlanta.
She's
very close friends with a buddy of mine. One of my best friends' name is Derek Kaiser. He's a bass player, and he was playing with Millie Jackson. And I went to a show, and she was coaching and kind of managing these young kids called Jagged Edge. That no one knew. And that's where I met her there. And then, of course, a couple weeks after that, Jagged Edge was huge. And you know who they are. You know Jagged Edge.
Of course.
Well, that was her group. Before they were big. So that's where I met her back in the early 90s in Atlanta.
And we kept running into each other because we know kind of like a lot of the same people, but he would come to my studio and just, we would just chill. Everybody was like
music studio, big time stuff,
It's a big time.
In the know. I think you teach acting as well, don't you?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Yes. And that's why when you said you were you did acting, I didn't even know that, but you realize, how acting has helped with your career, because that's what it does. It helps with singing.
It's funny that you would say that, because when I got the gig with Tower Power, I had sung background for Regina Bell and Phoebe and Cece, but I never, I did a couple of duets with Regina, but I had never led a band before, but I had acted before. And that's all I ever did, really. So when I auditioned for Tower Power, I acted like a singer. I actually prepared like I was doing a musical. I got,
Love that.
You dress up in the outfit to make you feel like. So I got a red suit on, and I dressed for the part. And before I went into the room, I went into the bathroom. I actually had rented videos of singers. So I tried to walk like this one, talk like this one, move like this one. And I walked in the room, and they asked me, said, "Have you ever fronted a band before?" And I was like, "No questions."
What kind of questions that? Of course.
But I played it off like I'm a real singer. And I said, if I can pull this thing off and get this gig, I'm good. So so acting has a lot.
It works. I mean, I did the same thing when I was in my bands. I would go to different, in the Chitlin circuit out in LA. That's what we call it. And you have to go watch other singers, watch and listen and see what they're doing to add it to your show and act it out. And it's like, why did that singer get a standing ovation and I didn't? So now I know.
And all that, and that's not even all according to how good a singer you are. It's about being an entertainer, and that's why I encourage young singers to watch when everybody else is just clapping and singing and booing. You're in class. You have to watch how he works the stage. Watch where he walks and stands and takes a couple of seconds and everything. Great entertainers like Gladys Knight. You got as a vocalist, you got to focus on what they're doing, and you learn from them. And that's what I did. That's how I wound up doing some gigs, just by watching and learning and stealing.
And learning. And that's the actual teacher. That's how you learn. It's so good. Yeah. You're so good at it.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, listen. So I mean, what are you doing now? And are you working on any current projects?
Yeah. Well, in the last couple of years, there's a group out of the UK, Output Input. I don't know if you've heard them, but you got to look them up.
I haven't actually.
I did 2 songs on their project. One with Audrey Will Downing's wife. She's a great vocalist. We did I did on my own project, Brent Carter and Friends. I did Work to Do, which has all these fantastic musicians on it. You should give that one a listen when you get a chance. And right now, in a few weeks, I have a duet with myself and Regina Bell, the song "I Want You," but it's with musicians from around the world. A lot of great musicians, and it's coming out really well.
Great.
Okay. All right.
I'm back out on the road with Average White Band next week.
You're a very, very busy man, and so busy that you're coming to the UK as well in April, I do believe.
Yes. Yeah. It's actually the last tour. That's the last.
And we
Average White Band.
And you're giving us myself and Carlos VIP tickets. Is that correct?
Absolutely. If you bring me some food, you come in sure.
That's a deal, man. That's a deal.
Don't forget, I'm going to be on the bus in the back.
Absolutely.
So you're coming over with the Average White Band, performing?
All right.
Okay. You've been over to the UK before. I think you performed at Ronnie Scott's in big.
Right, we usually do a week a year at Ronnie Scott's, but last year we did was it Royal Albert Hall?
The Royal Albert Hall. Wow.
Yeah, we did that the last couple of years, and I think we're probably doing that again this year. I don't think we're doing a week anywhere, but we're all over the UK for about a month. So
okay.
You got
Sorry,
we're in London, so
we're in London.
Okay,
we'll come and see you.
Yeah,
cool.
And when you perform in the UK, what's the difference between the UK and the US? Do you get a different vibe, or is it similar? What is it?
Well, what's funny? We have different songs over there. That in the United States, Average White Band's biggest song is "Pick Up the Pieces." And
top.
But over there, the biggest song is "Let's Go Round Again," that people in the U.S. don't even know, not even familiar with. Okay. So once we start doing "Let's Go Round Again" for the encore over there, everybody jumps up, goes nuts, and everyone.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Wow,
I know that.
Yeah. And now we have to listen to
exactly, because from the U.S., you wouldn't even know that song.
Yeah. I could see you just got great energy about you, and we're so looking forward to the VIP tickets. And food as well. That's
Right,
how
yeah.
we just, you know, we're from London. That's how we do it here.
Brent, that's
So-
amazing, man. I'm telling you.
Okay. All right. Listen, we're going to wrap it up because we've got the green room full and
The green room
with,
full.
with stars,
Yeah.
just stars. And you're so. What can people expect from you, Brent Carter? What can people expect from you finally?
Well, the very next thing, like I said, is my single coming out with Regina, and I'm working on my own
looking
project.
forward
People
to
are
that.
asking me, "What do you plan on doing after Average White Band? Who do you want to be in this group or that group?" And I just want to do my own thing. I'm doing Brent Carter and Friends, and which is basically me and musicians that I've worked with from around the world. And when we do a tour, I'll just bring certain people out with me. But I've been doing a few like that, and I just bring friends of mine along, and great musicians. Different types of not everything is just straight R&B, but this is going to be Brent Carter and Friends, and I want to write my own checks from here on out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Amazing.
Listen, you're amazing.
Thank
You know,
you, Brent, so much.
Thank you.
yeah, myself and Mr. Carlos,
Yeah.
we're amazing. Cinnamon's amazing.
And
You know,
Like we say to Brent, when you write those checks, mate, don't forget to write our VIP tickets. All right.
we got to throw that in. You know, everybody that comes on, we just want VIs.
Yeah,
We want
no,
VIP tickets.
I have some friends that are on Solar Radio over there. I don't know if you-
Yeah. Tony, do you know
So
Tony
I
Munson?
listen too, so you'll probably be hanging out with them when you come to the show. Those are my guys.
Do you know Tony Munson?
I know him. I don't know if he came to the show. He may have come to it, but yeah, I do know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah. He runs Solar Radio. I used to work with him back in the day. So anyway, there you go. But listen, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Good to see you.
Brent, thank you.
Brent,
Oh
thank
my
you,
God.
Thank you so much. For
Yeah,
your time.
but I don't know why I did that, but yeah, thank you for coming on the show. It's just a UK thing. Thank you.
Peace.
Take
All
care.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Take
bless
I'll
you.
All
talk
right.
to you soon.
All right.
This is the boy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is the boys with the noise.
Thanks for watching the Friday Mayhem Clubhouse show. We will see you soon.
Click on the bell and subscribe to the Friday Mayhem Clubhouse Show channel.